Griphook is Warwick Davis, and I like what he did with the scene in terms of he was so calm, and yet the conversation between him and Harry was so much very intense in terms of how they were going and how they were negotiating in terms of Griphook helping the group achieve their mission at this point in the story, which was at the top. So I love what Warwick Davis was doing. And I also want to shout out Warwick Davis because he played two roles in this movie. First, the Griphook character, the Goblin, who ultimately dies once they get to the Ministry and they are escaping. That character dies. And then fast forward the story, you see Warwick Davis on screen again, but this time he is Professor Phileas Flitwick. And it's just very interesting for me because I don't think I've seen it too many times where you see an actor come on screen and for one, he's playing two roles. You see that. But then to see that character, the first character, die on screen, and then fast forward 10, 20, 30 minutes later, the same actor playing a completely different role is on screen. And to see that was a pretty interesting to see him in the final battle as he's talking to Professor McGonagall. And then also the one to kind of stick right here with the actor of Warwick Davis with a particular nerdy note here because yes, he played two roles in this film, but in terms of my understanding, he didn't get paid, twice for playing two roles, but his negotiated rate for this movie in terms of him getting compensated was most likely a higher negotiated rate because he played two roles in this film, doing two things in terms of having two sets of dialogue and of course the makeup and the prosthetics and the hours it takes to sit in that chair to get that and all the people involved to do that. So I believe the rate of the negotiated rate that Warwick Davis had is going to be higher because he played two roles. Now, if he just had the one role, perhaps the rate he has for playing two roles is not going to be the same for playing one role. I believe that's how it works. So just an interesting thing there in terms of, for one, the business side of it, and then also just the fact that he gets to do two roles, different roles, and then one character dies and then continues on for the rest of the film as another character.